can guarantee that if you apply and master the 4C hair detangling and wash day techniques shared in this video, you will gain at least 6 inches of hair length by the end of a year, and your natural hair is also going to be a lot healthier. Now, for context, these techniques have taken my hair from this length to this length in just a year after being stuck at chin length for years. If you're lucky enough to stick to the very end of this video, I will show you 4 goated hand techniques that are specifically tailored to detangle fussy hair without breaking your hair length off. The first rule in detangling or handling fussy hair in general is do not ever work on completely dry hair. So I'm starting off by hydrating my hair with warm water. For a little bit of context, I haven't detangled my hair in over 6 weeks, and I had mini twists in for a month, and when I took them down I didn't bother detangling my hair. So I do have a lot of shed hair stuck in my hair with a lot of tangles. Once I was done hydrating my fussy hair, this is what my hair looks like, and I proceeded to apply a little bit of shea butter to my hands before I start trying to separate my hair. For this process, you can apply a little bit of leave-in conditioner or any other product with sleep to help you separate your hair. And the goal at this point isn't to detangle your hair, it is to separate your hair, because right now I'm trying to separate my hair into sections. It is very important for you to always work in sections whenever you're handling your fussy hair, because it makes the process easier and faster. You also have to make sure that you are very gentle and patient throughout this entire process, because if you try to rush the process, it is going to result in more knots and tangles, and this in turn is also going to result in more breakage, and this is also going to make the entire process take longer. Once I was able to section out a portion of my hair, I proceeded to try to get out the shed hair by gently pulling at the ends of the hair as you saw me doing previously. And once I was done with that process, I went ahead to twist up the section. For detangling, I am going to be using okra gel for this process, and I decided to apply a little bit of the okra gel at this point to my hair to help with the sectioning process. As I said earlier, the goal at this point is not to detangle my entire hair. The goal is just to section my hair. So once I am able to get out a chunk of hair, like section it all off, I just go ahead to try and get out the tangles so I can be able to twist the ends of the hair. I do not bother to get out all the tangles and all of that. I just do the bare minimum at this point. So once I have this section out separated from the rest of the hair, I just pull at the ends of my hair lightly, as you can see, and this gets out some of the shed hair at this point. And once I am done with this process, I just proceed to pull my hair into a twist. I went off camera to finish off the sectioning process, and this is what my hair looks like once I was done with that. So I have about 8 sections in total. Now it is time for us to start the detangling process properly. Once I take down a particular section or twist, I proceed to apply my okra gel. You can use any other product or detangler you have available. Another benefit to putting my hair in chunky twists before starting the detangling process is that it is always easier to get out shed hair from stretched fussy hair than shrunken fussy hair. It is always easier. Like I've tried this a couple of times, and this is what works. So you can either put your hair in chunky twists or braids, either of them works fine. At this point, I am trying to separate this particular section into smaller sections that I can work with. It is always better for you to work in smaller sections. It makes the process easier and faster. At this point, it is not advisable to use a comb or any other detangling tool, because what it's going to do is to rip out your hair strands alongside the shed hair that is stuck in. So once I am done, I go ahead to separate the section I want to work with and start the process. The first hand technique or finger detangling technique involves holding your hair the way I'm holding it with one hand, and then using your fingers to rake through the ends of your hair or pull gently. And the goal of this technique is to get out shed hair from your hair. This is because most of the shed hair stuck in your hair is going to be at the very ends of your hair. That is why your ends have the most tangles and knots. So once you're done with that process, you move on to the second technique. This technique involves parting your hair mid shaft, like just put your hands in between two sections and try to separate very gently and slowly. And once you encounter any knots at the end, feel free to try to detangle it separately. So I just do the process, this particular technique several times just to get out any tangles and all. And after doing that for a while, I proceeded to comb the ends of my hair with a white tooth comb, just the ends of my hair at this point. Also, pay attention to the way I'm combing. If you notice, I am not combing forcefully. I am kind of doing a raking motion so that once I encounter any knot or tangle, I can stop the process immediately and go in with my hands to get out the tangle instead of ripping out my hair with the comb. For the third technique, I like to do it only when I have gotten out most of the shed hair from the ends of my hair and from the mid length of my hair. And the goal of the third technique is to get out the shed hair and tangles from the roots of my hair. What I'm doing right now is also a hand technique or finger detangling technique. I take my time to get out the shed hair from the length of my hair and the very ends of my hair. Then I proceed to do the third technique. To do the third technique, you have to simply pass two fingers at the very roots of your hair, and then you try to move your hands downwards as you can see me doing. And I'm going to repeat this particular technique or motion throughout this particular portion of hair. And once my hands can easily move from the very roots of my hair to the ends without encountering any tangles and knots, then this particular section is properly detangled. So I go ahead to put it into a twist and move on to the next section. I also like to cut off any single strand knots that I notice. I think it's very important for everyone with 4C hair to understand that 4C hair is not straight hair. 4C hair is meant to intertwine, it is meant to coil around each other at some point. So, the earlier we accept and embrace this part or this uniqueness of our hair, better for us. So, do not have unrealistic expectations when you're detangling your hair. Once your hair is like it gets detangled to a large extent, like you get rid of most of the tangles and all, then it's safe to say that you've done a good job. Do not try to overdo the process. If you do that, you're going to end up causing a lot of breakage, unnecessary breakage at that, to your hair strands. For the fourth hand or finger detangling technique, I use it when I encounter a shed hair that is stuck between my hair strands and is intertwined in a way that it is not possible for me to get out the shed hair itself. So I'm going to show you guys shortly how to apply that particular technique. Meanwhile, let me know if you're going to be trying out any of the finger detangling or hand techniques, and also feel free to share your experience with us whenever you do try them out. I would also love to know how long it takes for you to detangle your 4C hair in the comment section. So for the fourth technique, you start off by holding the section or the tangled portion of your hair with one hand, and then you're going to use your other hand or your fingers to try to pull out each strand that is stuck in the tangle, like bit by bit, as you can see me. Like I'm literally picking one strand at a time, because if you try to pull a lot of hair strand, it's not going to work out. And this is the shed hair that I just got out. I'm going to repeat this entire process and techniques for the rest of my tangled hair. And once I am done, I'm going to put my hair back into a twist. And part of the reason I'm putting my hair back into the twist is because I love to wash my hair in twists. And this also is a game changer because washing my hair all out results to a lot of tangles. For the hair wash routine or technique, I like to start off by saturating my hair with warm water to get out the okra gel from my hair. I take my time to do this. I take my time with this particular process. And if you're among those people who do not love to wash their hair in twists, but you also do not want your hair to get tangled or matted up, one thing you can do is to take down each twist and wash your hair and then put it back in twist. And this is going to take longer. So just figure out if you prefer to wash your hair in twists like I do, or if you prefer to take down each twist and wash each section, then twist back and repeat that for the entire sections and just wash your hair in general. It is also very important to remember that shampoos are meant for your scalp and not the length of your hair. So whenever you're washing your hair, make sure you focus the shampoo application on your scalp and then let the remnants run through the length of your hair when you're rinsing off the shampoo. I usually do 2 to 3 shampoo rinsings whenever I'm washing my hair, and once I am done, I make sure I rinse my hair properly. I'll be combining 5 of these Ayurvedic herbs in my hair mask, and I would love you guys to guess at least 2 of the herbs contained in these hair masks. And if you want to see the full detailed hair mask recipe and video, make sure you're subscribed and you turn on your post notification for my next video. Until then, thank you so much, and I'll see you. Bye.